Yeah, it felt special. Whenever you get Laker fans and Dubs fans in the same arena and a neutral site, it's gonna be a lot of excitement and two great fan bases with two great teams. You know, it was amazing tonight.
Do you feel like the league has the refs emphasizing like offensive fouls, especially the last couple games?
Yeah, I mean, just like we play a full 82-game season, they ref a full 82-game season, and we try to make adjustments. They're making adjustments as well. So I know it's it's tough for them to kind of make that switch to the points of emphasis and how to call those things, but just be patient with them. We know it's early in the season, and but when you're on the court in the moment, sometimes it gets the best of you.
Is that common in the preseasons past that they're really tightening stuff up, or what can you remember?
Yeah, I mean the NBA is doing us, always trying to figure out ways to make our league better, make the game play better, and so the referees are working hard in the summer to figure that stuff out. And it's a great time to try to put it in uses in preseason, and so you can't get. It's not one of those things where I'm gonna be pissed after the game, but because I know they're trying to do a job and I know they're gonna make adjustments as well.
How tough is it, I mean, not just being in the flow of the game, but there's also calls defensively.
I mean, it's just like I said, it's just a part of the game. It's just a part of the what they're trying to buckle down on as referees, and just like we're trying to figure out our style of play. It's the same thing. I understand where they're coming from. No, I had to go pee.
It's preseason, right? But with what you saw with the Lakers, what do you make of what their potential is?
Man, if you don't take care of the basketball, you're gonna be in trouble. If you shoot bad shots, you're gonna be in trouble because they're gonna get out and run fast, and they got athletes, they got playmakers, they got shooters. So they make you think. You gotta make the correct plays on the offensive side of the ball in order for you to kind of slow them down. But I feel like every Laker team has always played fast or try to play fast, but you got Bron and Rondo and JaVale sprinting big, who's going to definitely help them out. You got the young guys who, just with a lot of energy. So, that's Laker basketball is getting up and down, and that started in the Magic Johnson era. So they're trying to bring that back.
I guess it didn't count, but what did you like about that Looney dunk?
Oh, that it was on JaVale. That was the best part about it.
Were you saying something?
Oh, yeah. Of course. You got to give him talk a little to JaVale. He's our brother.
I want to talk about Tex Winter. Tex was one of the most important people in my basketball career. What he did for me and the path that he put me on, the chance that he gave me in Chicago, along with Phil Jackson, changed my whole life. And I learned so much about basketball from Tex. The guy, Ron Adams, told me that Tex knew more about the history of the game and the fundamentals of the game than anybody he had ever met in his life. And I was lucky enough to play for Tex for 5 years and learn from him. A lot of what I do here with the Warriors is patterned after the things I learned from Tex. And what a life he lived. He was a unique individual and had touched thousands of lives. And today the news was tough. Tex was a special person to me and everybody who played for him. And just want to pass along our thoughts to Tex's family. So, thanks.
What lessons, memories stick with you?
Tex, he didn't care about anything other than execution. He didn't care about stars. He didn't care about status. He didn't care about anything other than just executing the play. And he's the only guy who would ever utter the words, "Phil, get Michael out of there, put Kerr in." He literally said that many times. He'd say, "We're not running the offense. Michael, Phil, get Michael out of there, put Kerr in for him." I'd look at my teammates, I'd be like, "Don't look at me, he said it." But that's how Tex was. He was a stickler for offensive execution. And like I said, he taught me an awful lot about basketball, and I learned a lot about his life too. He would take food from every one of our pregame meals, and he would take it back with him. There was, tons of food at these pregame meals was wasted, right? Because we'd be overloaded with food, and he'd take food back to his room and take it back home. And he grew up in the Dust Bowl. He grew up in northern Texas, and his family had to leave and move to California because there was no food. So he lived through that, as a child, which shaped his entire life, his entire existence. And he got to LA and moved to California, ended up going to USC and coaching his whole life, and pretty remarkable human being. Nobody really wants to talk about the game after all that.
I guess there's no
I don't blame
transition.
you. Tex would have hated this game, by the way. No flow at all.
Do you feel like they're putting like a point of emphasis on offensive fouls? I mean, I don't know how many guys.
Yeah. I mean, same as last game. So it's definitely something the league is, making a point of, for sure.
How much does that hurt you guys, particularly? You do a lot of off-ball moves,
Right.
actions, back screens. It seems like you're getting whistled.
Yeah, we are. So we'll have to adjust.
How do you adjust that as far as you're not going to suddenly just want to play an ISO style game?
No, but I'm pretty confident that they're not going to call 65 fouls and foul Kevin Durant out in 24 minutes when the regular season starts. I'm pretty confident in that. And if they do, then we got to talk. We have to understand what basketball's about. Officiating's an art form. There's a flow to the game that has to happen, and I think right now we're putting the officials in a really tough spot because we're just having them call everything. I know it's preseason. We're trying to make sure we have these points of emphasis, but there's got to be some flow to the game, and there's got to be some pace, and that's what people come out to see, and that's what makes the game beautiful. But I'm very confident that we'll see that sorted out. The league always does a great job of making sure the pace and the flow of the game is good. Ironically, that's the point of calling things tighter off the ball, is to improve flow and improve pace. But it's not going to happen with 65 fouls.
Just a preseason game, obviously, but just considering the crowd and the storylines, what sort of extra juice did you sense with this game?
A lot of good energy in the first half. We're in Vegas, and it's the Lakers and the Warriors, and LeBron and everything, but it was misplaced energy on our part. We were trying to put on a show, instead of playing basketball. We had 9 assists and 11 turnovers in the first half, and that's not us. And so we got to play better, and we will.